I made $676 trading the Nasdaq today. I'm kind of going to walk you guys through how I did it. I'm not an experienced trader. I'm just going to preface, this is my first video I've ever made. This is going to be a trade recap for, first of all, me kind of journaling my trades from here on out, because me and my boy, I think we found like a pretty solid strategy that is enough to basically just have me pick up the camera and start recording from here on out, because I've been trading for about 2 months now. I've blown like roughly like 5 express or like funded accounts, and I've actually blown 1 express account. So from here, we just kind of stepped back. We're like, you know what? We gotta like figure out something else. We gotta start putting our mind to this and really start putting in the work. So from there, we just started back testing a certain strategy, and we actually implemented that strategy today. So I bought a brand new, I reset my account on Top Step, just a regular old funded account, and this is the first video, and I'm gonna just do a trade recap on what we did this morning. So hopping into the weekly time frame, heading into this morning, what are we looking at? So obviously like right away, like morning open before market even opened today on Thursday, the 6th, March 6th. We were sitting like right about here on the weekly, actually, somewhere within here. What are we looking for when we're looking at the weekly? Well, time is fractal. So what I'm looking at here is I'm looking at draws down here. I'm looking at draws down here to kind of both of these. So on the weekly, I'm bearish. Head scale down to the daily. We're just gonna make our way down. Basically, we're bearish on the daily as well. I mean, we have draws down here. We have draws down here. All this sell side liquidity was just formed throughout the weeks and the months. So that's kind of what we're looking at there. On the daily, if we scale down to the 4 hour, this is what's going to kind of set us up for our entry for actually trading today. So today, we were sitting about right here in the morning when we got up, and then around that 10 a.m. mark is where this next candle opened, where we ended up taking our trade. But we're bearish as hell today on the 4 hour. That's what we're looking at. We're looking at draws way over here that we had marked out. When we're doing this, we're marking out these down here. We're marking out these down here potentially for draws on the day. So we head back, but one thing we did notice that kind of helped, and when I say we, I'm saying me and my boy Eli, get in the Discord every morning. We're trying to make some good trades here and try new models all the time. So basically, what we're looking at now is price. I expected a sell-off right at open. That's what we did, but we were patient enough to watch that retracement, and that retracement to where? Well, this 4 hour fair value gap. All we had to do was mark that John out, and yeah, just label that thing real quick. That's gonna be our 4 hour fair value gap. Bang, there we go, inside center. Just mark that right out so that when we scale down, we can still see that. Once I see that we might actually want to come retrace into this 4 hour fair value gap, we're just gonna be waiting for a sell model to appear. And that's basically where we took our entry. So we're gonna scale down to the 30-minute here. There's still our 4 hour, just plain and simple sitting right there. We also have a 30-minute fair value gap extending in this direction. It helps us out a little bit here. We did close above it, but we were still kind of more focused on that 4 hour bearish fair value gap as well. If we look over here, we have a 30-minute fair value gap over here as well. That could help us when it comes to marking out like where price potentially might want to go after we reject off this fair value gap, this 4 hour fair value gap. So yeah, so basically what we're looking for now is just a confirmation of rejection. And we did get that when we scale all the way down to the 5 minute. I'll kind of zoom in a little bit more for you guys where we ended up taking this trade. But yeah, so right here, we have this fair value gap marked out. Where was it? Let's really get in there. 5 minute fair value gap to the upside was right here. A little bit of a fair value gap. Where do we end up closing below? We end up closing below with this candle right here. We're immediately in right there. Once we close this candle, we have just broken structure to the downside. We have completely disrespected this 5 minute fair value gap that we were looking to disrespect for our entry. Just all we did was we threw stops right up by these highs. If we're wrong for the day. Already mentally have lost for the day, so that if we lose, mental isn't chalk. We're not trying to revenge trade, anything like that. But yeah, we sweated it out a little bit with this stop loss. Eventually got exactly what we were looking for in this sell model. Came down, swept out all of these bullish PD arrays. And yeah, we had targets set down here. I believe I had a draw marked out, yeah, right down here that I didn't quite mark out yet. There was our first draw. Quick little 3R. We ended up actually getting out at about a 2R, which was right there off of a certain draw. Yeah, this draw right here. This draw right here is where we were originally out at. So pretty close to here being like a one, basically a 2R. What I did wrong, I messed this trade up. We're in for 3 micro contracts. We're risking $500 to make 1,000. I put my first take profit at a 1-to-1 risk to reward. And the reason I did that, and that was for 2 contracts, which was a mistake. I should have made it 1 contract. And the reason I chose the 1-to-1 to take out only 1 contract or 2 contracts was because of this exact reason right here. On the 5-minute chart, we can see a fair value gap right here that potentially would inverse price action to push up to maybe even just potentially blow through this 4-hour fair value gap that we already held once, right? Another thing that we're looking for here is equilibrium. So we have this swing high right here, starting right here. Oopsies, give me that box. We got it starting right here and ending right there. Well, our equilibrium is within this range as well. So the reason that we're having our partials out around this area is because there is a chance we could just get reversed on our dome piece, which we're not looking to do. So trying to make this as much of a profitable trade as we can. At this point, like if TP1's getting hit, we're moving stops to break even. That's exactly what we did this morning. But I'm just gonna kind of explain what we could have done better to make way more money, because we definitely messed up this morning. So basically, we come down, we smack TP1 for 2 contracts of the 3. We only have 1 left. I'm letting 1 runner go down to this TP right here. I was too zoned in. I didn't even realize my other draws that I had marked out down here could have literally extended. We could have literally extended full TP all the way down to this level. Obviously, that's very easy to say now that price ended up coming and touching down, but regardless, we want to do this anyways. We take 1 contract here where we were originally going to take it. We ended up taking 2. First mistake. Second mistake. We took that now. Well, that was really what started everything, because guess what? Now we're only left with 1 more contract. We can't take partials from there. Top Step doesn't let you do that. Doesn't let you take half a contract, which makes sense. But anyways, we come down. We only have 1 contract to work with. What we could have done, taken 1 right here, taken 1 at the original 2RR trade right here, and then we just leave that final runner, that final contract, to make us more money all the way down at our final TP where we marked out our draws on liquidity. That is how we messed up today. Could have made way more money, but guess what? I'm really happy with almost $700. I'm really happy with this model. We literally were so patient. I mean, I entered this trade at 10.50. I'm very impatient. So for me to wait for my sell model to appear and not take a trade till 10.50 is definitely odd for me. But it's great that I'm trying to turn a new leaf, and that's kind of the reason why I'm making this trade recap, because honestly, it's gonna be so great to be able to look back at this and be like, this is all I had to do. All I had to do is just be like patient to like take my model and get it, like have a winning trade. Are you kidding me? That's all it takes, instead of trying to force trades. Because today I was bearish, right? Well, guess what? Here we go. Market opens 9:30. We have like a slight sell-off. Like if I was impatient, bam, we're in shorts, right? That would be just stupid. I'd be forcing a trade. Sure, I'd maybe throw stops over this high. Well, guess what? We're getting stopped out. Forcing a trade, first of all, no bueno, no good. So we waited for price action to happen. We were bearish, right? So when we see price starting to go up, that doesn't be like, okay, well now we're bullish, let's take a long. It's like, let's wait and analyze some more. So you just scale right back to those higher time frames and say, why are we going back up? Well, guess what? We have that 4-hour fair value gap that we might want to touch into before actually making our move to the downside. So that's all we had to do. All we had to do is take a step back and just kind of look, just kind of look at what was going down. Ended up getting that exactly right here. Look at this, tapped perfectly right into the middle of this 4-hour fair value gap, rejected, got our sell model, and we were out for almost $700. Obvious mistakes, got to improve. That's why we're journaling. That's why we're doing a trade recap, so that we can make better trades in the future. Could have potentially caught this 3.5 RR. That would have been beautiful, but guess what? We'll do it again this week. Start right away next week. We'll get her done. So yeah, that's about it for the trade recap, but that is what we did today. So peace.